Amid the pandemic, some companies hope to level up efficiency through hybrid work and utilizing co-working spaces. We discuss such trends with international workplace groups, Lars Wittig. Lars, great to have you with us on the program. Have we seen a change in the working trends from 2020 to 2023?
Yes, I would say we have seen a very rapid change. It's almost like the future of work has, what should I call it, arrived early. So suddenly it is not only on the top of the list of the employees to be able to work hybrid, but it's also very much on the top of the list for the employers to allow for hybrid working and flexible workspace.
So here's company A that has a permanent workspace. To expand, will they lease additional space, Lars, or will they decide to use a workspace?
A typical employer here in the Philippines is definitely employing more people today than pre-COVID, yet they are right-sizing their conventional office space. Right-sizing is a beautiful word for downsizing.
But laying off people?
No, they are employing more people than before, but they are right-sizing their conventional workspace. They prefer instead to go flexible. Flexible for two reasons. To be able to allow hybrid working, they need multiple locations. That is what International Workspace Group is providing, with nearly 30 locations here in the Philippines and 2,500 globally going on. It will probably exceed 3,000 this year and 4,000 next year.
So are you saying then, Lars, that if they have their headquarters here in Metro Manila, but would like to expand in Cebu, Davao, Dumaguete, or other cities in the Philippines, instead of leasing space for their people there, they would rather take the route of workspaces where you have less overhead costs?
Yes, exactly. And they can employ talents in those provinces without having to transfer them to Metro Manila. They can work from their home province because we will offer them a professional workspace where they are today. That's why we are opening in more and more provinces and faster doing so this year than ever before.
You know, I've noticed when I move around key business districts, not only in the metropolis, I've seen basically quite a number of empty office spaces. Are companies not committing to lease commercial spaces because of the high operational costs, and they would rather use the workspace concept?
Well, they obviously want to have people as efficient as possible, and the productivity is much higher working hybrid. And of course, they don't want to pay for space that they're not using. They all got a very ugly experience in that regard during COVID. Many companies were paying for many floors of office space that was absolutely empty during the years of lockdowns. So now they learned that lesson, that is very unpredictable and it can happen overnight, that they cannot utilize their space. Therefore, it becomes increasingly permanent to go flexible. Actually, 83% of all Fortune 500 companies are our customers at multiple locations. So they're basically permanently now relying on this flexible solution, not only because this is what their employees want. We actually know that 49% of all employees, they would literally resign if they were told to go back 5 days a week, and 78% of all employees, they are very strongly feeling that they need minimum 1 day of freedom to work hybrid.
So these empty office spaces, are you working with them to collaborate for you to be able to lease these spaces, or these commercial buildings will offer their spaces for workspaces?
We clearly have a high demand to partner up with developers, with landlords. They are coming to us if we can help out. Why? Because now that both employers and employees want to work flexible, hybrid is basically the by far largest growing segment within commercial office space. So this opportunity, this is only the beginning, Rico. So this opportunity that is becoming so grand, and we believe soon, at the latest by year 2030, 30% of all conventional office space will be flexible or co-working one way or the other. So if the landlords are not already now tuning into that, they will basically become obsolete, or rather their buildings will.
All right, if you take a look at the first 5 to 6 months of 2023 compared to 2022, what is the demand right now for flexible co-working spaces? Has there been an increase, twofold, tenfold in the demand?
Well, first of all, the recovery clearly began last year. And last year, as a company, globally, we hit by far our highest revenue ever. After 33, 34 years in business. It grew actually 24% year on year, and even more so here in the Philippines. And this year, this trend is continuing. For us here in the Philippines, we are having a record high demand. To be very exact, we for the first time have had single months in the Philippines with over 2,000 incoming inquiries. And that's not me forcing them to call and ask us. I tell you, everybody are now looking for flexible workspace. We even get phone calls from the developers, the landlords, into our hotline.
But Lars, where's the demand for flexible workspaces coming from? Are they from startups, from micro, small, and medium enterprises, BPOs, creative industries, finance, and embassies?
Yes, to all of the above. Absolutely, and definitely very much so from the incoming investors. So we are very safe and sort of like a shortcut to get established, to come in early, test the waters, and then thanks to the flexibility, they can scale up and down, if ever, as per their requirements, their needs at any given time.
Basically, what is the ratio right now, Lars, for the take-up of these flexible workspaces? Are they existing companies, or are we seeing an influx of new investors?
I'm seeing both. I'm seeing all of the traditional startups and existing customers, but we're also very much seeing this influx of investors. What they all have in common, though, is that where they before used flexible as a short-term solution, they do sign up still for short-term, but the retention rate is much, much higher. So they enjoy the ability to only commit themselves on a short term, but they do it with the objective of renewing.
All right. For people who are watching us right now, who are maybe starting up their business, they're a micro industry, small industry, who are not familiar with the flexible working space concept, what kind of facilities do you offer for clients?
If you're not familiar with it yet, you have to look at what is your business, what is it that is your future, what are your resources, and as limited as they are, where are they best used? Say that you are a startup in Cagayan de Oro or Iloilo or Subic or Clark or Davao or Iloilo, Cebu. We have centers everywhere. So we can basically be a launch platform for the small local entrepreneurs. Because once you are a member one place, Rico, you can avail of the entire network. So suddenly you can also go from Iloilo to Manila, and because you are our customer or member in Iloilo, you can actually host meetings here in Metro Manila.
And briefly, what is the range of the cost of the packages that IWG offers?
Oh, it can start as low as 5,000 pesos per month.
And as high as?
Well, that depends what kind of solution you want and how many workstations that you need. I mean, I have customers that have 200-300 people every single day going somewhere within the Philippines to one of my centers, our centers. We have customers that have 95,000 memberships, and they go. They rely every day on one of our 2,600 locations worldwide.
Thank you so much for sharing with us your insights on the flexible workspaces. IWG's SVP for ASEAN, Taiwan, and Korea, Lars Wittig.